you don't have to be a color to teach kids well who are of color.
I agree.
Like
I agree.
that is a serious situation. I just want to say that. At the same time, you have to also acknowledge the difference that difference makes, certainly. And I think we just have to be real about it. What can you do from where you are to support?
Yeah.
What can you do from where you are to disrupt these whatever you can do is where we can start.
You know, a lot of my work and a lot of what I think about, what I write about are these issues, but how are we going to try to start bringing along white folks? Because white folks are way far behind from what this conversation is right now. You know, when you're having equity conversations, this is what the room looks like. When white folks all get together, they're often not trying to bring up this conversation, right? And if they are, we're way back. You're going to hear stuff like, well, what do I know about race? I'm white, right? Because the untalked about conversation is what whiteness is doing to our schools. And so in this conversation, meaningfully and what should be, right? We're talking about, or you guys are talking about, and I'm hearing the experiences of kids of color and through the lenses of kids of color. When white folks get together, they talk about what they imagine the experiences of kids of color to be, and then they feel like, well, I'm never going to be an expert because I'm only talking about a thing. They're not talking about the experience of white people.
And I know you said about making everybody human. Do you have any specifics, activities, things like that, that you've done that you can give us that we can take right back to our classrooms to, really promote this, like you said, to do good for all of us?
How are you having the conversation about folks of color to white kids? Because they need it maybe even more than children of color do, in the sense that children of color are always fed white norms. Yeah? But I can't say the same about the other way around. And whether or not different cultures means lesser cultures, that's fed differently to different students, right? And this actually even works for Native American students, which, by the way, that needs to be highlighted too. Latino students, yes. Muslim students, yes. And Muslim being like all over, South, Central, Central, Northern, Asian, whatever. Like all of our students, but I'm naming them because we need to name them out, right? All of our students need a sense of how do we approach cultures, right, that may be different but are not less than.
Yeah. My dream for every school I've ever been is that it's more uncomfortable to not talk about race than it is to talk about race, right?
Absolutely.
And I've never been in a school where that is true.